Hi guys, it's Q&A day.
Q&A day.
And we're actually filming during the day.
Say what?
It's not 12 o'clock at night.
Where are the kids?
They're watching a movie in their room. So I'm sure someone will come out in a second. But let's get this thing started. Okay. Well, let me just first start by saying that we've been going to bed at like
2 in the morning.
We've been
last few
working
nights.
our batushks off. So we're trying to be more responsible, trying to get things done during the day. This is our goal.
Yeah. This is actually giving us a chance to have somewhat of a normal night. We'll see.
Well, we'll probably edit this video tonight. So probably not so much. Okay, so let's start with our first question. Miss Court TJ, hello, thanks for writing.
Hey there.
She said, okay, she watched our previous Q&As, our pros and cons. But out of everything, what has been the hardest part of transitioning into full-time RV living? If going back on the road this summer, what do you plan on changing? Your guys' positive attitudes are amazing, by the way. Oh, thank you.
Oh, thank you so much.
So what are we going to change? Oh, I know.
Well, what's been the hardest part?
Oh, yeah.
You said about transitioning.
Living in a tiny space. Sometimes
Yeah.
it sucks. I'm not going to lie.
I think just getting used to it with the kids. I mean,
Yeah.
the kids have loved it, and
Yeah.
we've loved it. It's been great, but getting used to what day-to-day life is like when everybody's crammed into the trailer and how to handle that has taken some time, and we've actually come a long ways.
Oh, yeah. We've come a long way since the beginning. And I think we're still improving. So tiny living is not our ideal situation. We don't love it, but we love the life it affords us. We love the travel.
Yeah.
We love the new experience. We don't love being stuck in a trailer.
Right.
But the things that we change, we're going to renovate the trailer this summer.
We are, yes. Yeah, we have some big plans for when we go
Yes.
back home this
We're
summer.
going to make it a little bit easier to move around, maybe make some more space in our room, switch some things up. You'll have to wait and see.
We're going to make it a little bit more us.
Yes. Like we put some effort into it before we left, but we didn't. It was like a week before we were leaving.
One of the biggest issues that we started out with and then we don't have anymore and we're probably going to go back to are bikes. We have all the kids' bikes here, but our bikes we took with us and then we left in Texas, and we're going to pick those up again on the way home. So we're going to figure that out yet.
Okay, another question. Who is this from? This is from, I don't know. It's not letting me open it. But whoever you are, thank you for writing. I thought of another question. With the RV, this might be the last person. With the RV you pulled, what is the make and model? What's the make and model?
Of the trailer? It's a Cougar by Keystone. The model is 31 SQBWE.
Would a Suburban or Yukon XL work to tow it?
The new ones, yes. Or if you get a mid-90s one that has a Duramax diesel, yes. This thing weighs 7,300 pounds dry, and it has a maximum load capacity of 9,000 pounds. So I know that there are some newer Yukons out there, GMCs, whatever, that can pull that. But I think 9,000 is like their absolute max. So
And you don't really want to max out your vehicle towing capacity.
For going over the mountains and stuff, I wanted to have more than enough towing capacity. So like my truck does 11,000.
Okay, next question. Miss Court. Oh, it's Miss Court. TJ again. Thank you for writing us again.
Lots of good questions.
I know, she has good ones. Okay, in previous videos you mentioned that there is that this was going to be a 6 to 12 month journey. But in your last video you mentioned going back to WA this summer and to sell more stuff. Are you guys planning on staying on the road now? Okay.
Yes.
Well.
Yes, we absolutely love this lifestyle and we want to continue doing it.
So with that, we have to shift our perspective, because when we first started traveling, we're like, oh, we'll do YouTube for like family memories, and maybe if people want to see our journey, then great. But now we're like, okay, we need to figure out how to become financially independent on the road. So now we're trying to transition all these things and figure everything out. But the goal is to continue traveling. We just have to figure out how to afford it, like everyone else has to figure out. I mean, that is the biggest hurdle for every full-time traveler.
We have a plan of how to do that.
Yes.
So we're working towards that. So yes, to answer your question, the plan is to continue indefinitely. You know,
Yes.
we want to be able to continue to do this until we don't want to do it anymore. questions.
Okay, next question. Megan L. Hutchins. I've been watching your videos for a few months now, and RVing has been a dream of mine for so long. We have 3 small children who really like having their own space. We just stayed in a hotel room, I'm paraphrasing, and it didn't go well with our kids. How do your kids cope with sharing a space?
Good question.
That's a very good question. Okay, and how do you suggest me getting my husband on board, especially after this crazy weekend in the hotel? Okay, so I struggle with this because Ben thought I was totally out of my mind when I suggested full-time RVing, and really, I think it has to come in time, right? You have to make your own choice, because if I forced him into it, we'd be miserable. If he forced me into this, we'd be miserable. Yeah. But with the sleeping situation, it's so much different than a hotel. We're not fans of staying in hotels. I mean, we're good with it without the kids. We love that. Yes. But with the kids, it's such a struggle because they can see us.
Yes, because they can see us, and because every hotel you go to is a brand new environment, and for kids, that's harder to transition into. Yeah,
different beds, different space, different arrangements, and especially because usually you have 2 queen beds. Like if you stayed at someplace with rooms, that's fine. Like our house flooded 2 years ago, and we lived in a hotel for 3 months when Lawson was a newborn. Whole nother story. So I mean, that type of thing is totally doable when you have separate rooms with kids, but when you're in one hotel room, it's so much different than an RV, because our bedroom's over here. The kids are in their closed door room right now, and we're doing this. So it's a whole different environment.
That's why we chose this model too, is because it has its completely own shut-off door area. This is actually a bigger distance between the master bedroom and the kids' room than our house has. So it's actually been a nice change. And the kids shared rooms before we left.
Yes, that was another question. And Autumn and Wesley, we transitioned them into this actually. Autumn had her own room, and the 2 boys had their room. And then when Miller was born, he went into the boy room. But when we knew we were going to start RVing, we moved Autumn into the boy room and just got them all used to being in the same space, which was a very big challenge. And I would not recommend doing that, because it was so much easier to get them used to sleeping in here, because they have their separate bunks with their curtains. It's a whole different world than when they're all laying on their mattresses and they're all face to face and can see each other. They all rally each other up, and here they have their own little nook.
Yeah, having their own space in there is key.
Vital. Oh wait, towing turtle. I like it. Okay, for your next Q&A video with little kids, it must be hard to keep them in your campsite. Yep. Yes. How do you let them play outside without them wandering off? Great question.
That took us a long time to really get good at and get comfortable with.
Yes.
And to be honest, you really can't. I mean, you have to be out there with them all the time, and that was a big change for us, because at our house we used to just let them go wander off into the backyard. No big deal. Here, you have to be present. You have to be aware. Our older kids, we can kind of set a boundary and they'll stay in that area.
Yeah, like we let them ride their bike to point A to point B in front of the trailer where we can see them. And Lawson too, if we're out there sitting in a chair. But Miller, of course, like
he bolts.
Yeah, he's gone. And there's so much dirt and sand and rocks and bugs that he eats it all. Yeah. So it's a much bigger challenge with a 1-year-old than at home. I'm not going to lie to you. It is 10 times harder living in a trailer with a 1-year-old than it is when we're in like a sticks and bricks home with a grass yard. Yeah.
We do have a gate. You've probably seen it in some of our videos, that big colorful gate that you can put out. And in some campsites, that's perfect, because we'll have shrubs all around us that he can't get to. We'll put the gate out to kind of lock them all in.
Yes.
But most of the time, that doesn't really work.
Like most people really like pull-through sites. We actually prefer back-in sites, because then it kind of keeps them in their nook. Then we're surrounded by shrubbery usually, or there's a clear boundaries of where they can and cannot go. But pull-through sites, there's a much wider area, and it becomes a little bit more challenging to wrangle them in. Yeah. So we don't do it well. We just have to be very aware of where they are at all times. Yeah. Okay, I have another question. What did you do when it comes to pets? Did you have a dog? Did you consider bringing him along? We have 3 rabbits and a 95-pound golden doodle, and would love the insight of pros and cons of bringing pets on the journey. Okay, let me start off by saying I think bringing a dog on this would be amazing, with the right dog. Right. We have a dog. She's a brown lab. She's 3 years old, and she is crazy. No, I'm just kidding. She's really, really sweet. She's so good with the kids, but she has been a farm dog her whole life. Yeah. She has roamed 10 acres. She comes inside in the winter when it's cold, but she is like chasing chickens and rats,
Yeah.
and like she is a farm dog.
Yeah, she's not used to being cooped up at all. And when you're going into this kind of a situation, they're going to be in the trailer. They're going to be on a leash right outside. They're not going to be able to roam and be free.
And she could roam 10 acres at home.
Right.
And then come back. We'd play with her, and she'd come. We had a little nook for her in the garage that was heated, and the kids would go out there and feed her and snuggle her in her bed. So it would be a much different situation for her to come into this, and I think it would be actually a little bit traumatizing for her. So bringing a dog would be amazing if you have the right dog that's used to being inside or in a crate or in a very small environment when you're gone. Our dog was not, so we chose not to bring her. And realistically, it would just be really hard for us in this space with her because she's so big.
It's already so crazy in here.
Yes, and our neighbor actually offered to watch her, and
Hi guys.
they
Hi,
watch
neighbors.
us. Hi neighbors, and they are watching her through the year, and I don't know if they know that we're thinking about continuing to travel. So if you're watching this right now,
We're gonna talk.
I know you do watch this. Text us because we'll talk about next year.
But there are a lot of dogs. I mean, every park that we go to, there's dogs all over the place, and most places are extremely dog friendly. There's little dog play areas all over the place, so don't be afraid to do that. Rabbits, I don't know, but I think a dog would be
A
great.
rabbit would be interesting. I don't know how you would do that. Another Q&A question. What were your friends and family's reactions when you told them you were going to go full-time RV? My family was like, oh yeah, that's funny, Rebecca. You have crazy ideas all the time. I'll believe it when it happens, type of thing.
Yeah. My family was shocked at first, but once we kind of talked a little bit more about it, then they were really excited and encouraging of us to do it.
They could see that Ben was like in a kind of a bad place where we were, and that we were kind of unhappy, and they knew us well enough to know that we needed to do more, and we didn't really know what that was at the time. So when we threw out this idea, they were like, whoa, like you want to what with your 4 kids? Like what?
You want to quit your job?
Yeah, you want to quit your really good job? And we're like,
What?
yeah. So it was scary for us, and it was scary for them. Friends thought we were crazy. Like, unless they knew us, like if they knew our hearts really well, they were really supportive. But casual friends were like, you're insane. And then like Ben's coworkers all took bets to see how long we'd be gone. So like there's a bunch of mixed reactions, and some people were extremely, extremely verbally negative.
Yeah, some were.
So you have to just take it, like, people are going to have opinions about everything. And
yeah, I think that you have to expect that, and you have to not let it bother you. We've actually talked with several people that have been going through this situation. It's been very hard on them, all the different opinions that they're getting. But it's like, hey, this is your life. You know why you're doing it. You know your heart and what's going to feed you. So make that choice and, go for it.
yeah, and everyone's calling is different, right? So some people think that this is insane and they've never even heard of an RV community, but there is such a strong RV community. You don't really know until you're in this world.
Yeah.
Or thinking about becoming a part of it. So that's what's really cool.
Yeah.
Okay, another question. Mama Van, she asked a couple of questions that we've already answered, so I'm just going to go to her last one. She asked, how are your kids, she asked about homeschooling, how we keep a routine with that. To be honest, we don't, we struggle with that a lot, just to be really honest. We have workbooks, we have goals that we need to reach by the end of the year, and we're obtaining those goals, but we have to do more work on certain days than others. Like some weeks we don't do anything because we're so busy, but we do 5 National Park Junior Ranger books, so we consider that something, and they're writing and counting and whatnot.
Yeah, we haven't had a super strict schedule because that's kind of been the whole theme of this trip, is that we don't really have a schedule, to be honest, other than like naps and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
We've kind of been go with the flow. So we've been getting the homeschooling in where it works, and we've been able to educate while we're going and seeing all these parks and monuments and that kind of stuff. So
yes, and it's easy still now too because it's kindergarten and preschool. I mean, we're not doing extreme stuff here, and they're already doing addition and subtraction, and they're learning to write and they're learning to read, and they're on track with all those things. So we still feel encouraged that we're going in the right direction.
Yep.
If they were older, we'd have to be more serious about it, but right now we're pretty free. So good. Okay, I hope I didn't miss any. I just text myself the questions and circle them, but some I didn't circle, so I hope I was organized well enough to do that. Now I have to go into some more questions. And I'm paraphrasing these, so please don't get offended that I didn't read your question, because some of them are like this long, which I love, because then it gives me detail, but I just don't need to read the whole thing on camera. Okay, so how has bedtime and sleeping gone for you and the kiddos? Did any of them share rooms before? I think do we answer that?
Yeah, we answered that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's just a sleeping question. I think we already answered that. So if you have more questions about the sleeping arrangement for the kids, just shoot me a message and I'll answer you. Oops, how do I work my phone? Okay, I remember saying you had a dog. Oh, another dog question. We answered that.
Yep.
Okay, awesome.
Check.
My daughter is 6 and loves traveling with me. We are planning a 2-month trek this summer, but her biggest concern is finding friends to play with. She is shy, but I find playgrounds are her best way to meet and make friends. Do you have any tricks to finding playgrounds on the road? I wish there was an app like they have for all stays, but the app for playgrounds. That's genius. We plan to boondock mostly, so campsites with playgrounds isn't an option. Ooh.
Okay. There are websites that are basically dedicated to things to do with kids in different cities. I don't remember what it's called.
Road Trippers app? I'll link those below. I think I have them on my phone. I'll link those below, so check those out. I think it might actually give you the playgrounds.
If you basically just search for things to do with kids in blank city that you're in,
yeah,
there's a website that basically is a comprehensive list, and most of them will list different playgrounds that there are to go to. And I completely agree, playgrounds are the best place to meet kids and for it to be easy for your kids to, find new friends. And we found some great friends for the kids to play with.
Yeah, we've met all our friends on playgrounds, but we've also met them in campsites.
Yeah.
That we continue to meet up with. So I don't know how that's going to be for like in the playground setting, not in a campsite, but I know that they still get that playtime. It still fills them. And honestly, when they're really, really craving kid interaction, we go to Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, Chick-fil-A, they almost always have a play area, and it's always filled with kids.
Tons of kids, and then we sit there for like an hour and a half and just let the kids wander, and they have the best time and leave all sweaty and tired. So when they're really craving that kid interaction, that's what we do. I know that's like a cheesy thing, but I mean, it's an indoor playground. It's great. And I get to sit there and watch them through glass. Okay, so another question. Andy asked, you two are awesome. Oh, thank you, Andy.
Hey.
Love the Q&As. Have you guys thought about Patreon as a source of income? Okay, so this is like the 10th person that's asked us this.
So yes, we have been thinking about it, and thank you very much, everybody that's kind of suggested that.
Nice,
very
all of you.
encouraging, and yes, we are working on setting up a Patreon page. So that's to be explained more in the future.
Yes, because we haven't figured it out yet.
Yeah, once we have it ready to go. But
and we want to make sure we want to still know you without Patreon. Like we want that to be something that helps us to continue making videos, but we don't want it to be like this big thing. We don't want it to be everything, but we put a lot of time into this. We want our content to still be very genuine, and we don't want it to be like, hey, we're making this so that we can make money, that kind of thing. Yeah. But at the same time, for us to continue to do this, that could be a very big tool to do that. As recommended by you guys. So we're really thankful for that, and we'll see where it goes, and we're excited because we want to keep YouTubing and we want to keep traveling. So next question. Ooh, how much did your RV renovation cost? I'm mainly wondering about the flooring and paint. And what paint did you use, and did you end up liking the results? Okay. Oh, it was a read more and I didn't press it.
Oh no.
So I don't know the last of your question. I'm so sorry. Okay, so any tips to someone else? Okay, so the flooring is different on the slide than the rest of the RV. I tore out the carpet in the kids' bedroom and in our bedroom, and the laminate floor or vinyl floor was under it.
So it was free.
Yeah, so more than likely, if you have carpet in your rooms, and it's ours is a 2014, but it looks like they just slabbed the vinyl down and stapled the carpet over it.
Yep.
Super simple.
That worked out really well.
So all we had to do is get vinyl for our slide. And the best matched vinyl that I could find was actually vinyl from our house.
Yeah, we had renovated our house a couple of years ago and had a leftover box of the luxury vinyl planks, and that actually filled up half of this. So we had to buy one more box. It cost like $50 or $60.
Well, no, I got it at the warehouse where I had originally bought the floors, and it was on it was remnants from someone else's house.
Oh, that's right.
And so I got the box, I think, for $40. It's pretty expensive flooring, but with that, it's individual planks. So you do want to buy a higher quality floor so it doesn't buckle and it actually gives it gives way.
Some leeway.
Yeah. Because the slide does move and arch so much.
It flexes and arches quite a bit.
Yes.
Yeah.
So cost for the RV. Oh, and I used Dove paint by, I think it's Benjamin Moore. And I just used it's just normal house paint. It's actually left over from our renovation as well, so that was free. But what kind of primer did I use on the wood? I made that mistake.
Oh,
Don't
yeah.
make the
It's
same mistake as me.
oil-based primer.
Yes, I used normal primer, and it just all scraped off. So I had to take like 6 hours and sand it all off. Don't do that. It was terrible.
Oil-based primer, because this is like finished.
On the fake wood. On the fake wood.
Faux wood.
You don't need to do it on the walls. I just did normal house paint on the walls. But on the faux paint, you have to do oil-based primer and then your coat.
So for us, the renovation costs like less than $100.
Yeah, it was cheap.
If we would have bought all this stuff brand new, the flooring probably would have been about
150. Oh, and the plywood.
The plywood was maybe, I don't know, $40.
Yeah, we had stain. We've done so many home renovation projects, like hundreds and hundreds of home renovation projects. So we had just had all this stuff that we kind of threw in here. So that's what we're excited for this summer, is just kind of to clean it up a bit and really make it our own, because I'm a home renovation addict. Like, I will never buy a new house. I have to buy something I can make.
We probably would have done more renovating initially, but Becca decided to renovate this thing like a week before we left on the trip.
No. I convinced him to let me renovate it like a week before.
Yeah.
Because he's like, it's fine, it's comfortable. And then we sat on the couch at the same time, the one that was in here, and it like cracked, and I was like, bang. But actually, funny story, the couch that we're sitting on now is broken.
It's terrible. Yeah. It's completely fallen apart.
Don't buy this couch. I linked it in our home renovation tour, so go check it out there. Don't buy it. It's terrible. We bought it on Amazon. I contacted the seller. Yeah. And they're giving me a full refund, but like 5 people have messaged me telling me they have this couch and it's happened to them too. So just don't buy it.
Yeah, so disclaimer, I apologize. I know that there was at least one person that said they're buying this couch after we put out that video. If you do, and it does fall apart like this one, call the manufacturer and they'll just give you your money back.
Yeah, they'll refund you. Okay, I think that's all. I think that's all I have for today. Oh, okay. Someone else recommended to me that they were saying that they're super disappointed that we're not daily vlogging anymore, and we are too. But we have to make money.
Sorry.
And like, for example, last night, like for the last like 6 nights, we've been up till 2 a.m. working on YouTube and working on Ben's new job. And this is a big question that I've gotten, is what are we doing? Like, what job are we starting?
Oh yeah, so I was in the appliance industry before we set out on this. That's the career that I left.
Yes.
And had a lot of experience with working with general contractors, selling appliances to big apartment buildings. So now I am working with them again, but more as a consultant. So that's the business that I started.
Because we just bought the LLC last week. So we're very fresh, just building a website. So keep us in your thoughts and prayers that succeeds, because we want to keep traveling. So that's our plan. That's what road we're going down right now. And we're excited. I think it's going to be really good. But we really would love to spend more time on YouTube because we love it so much. Who knew that we were creative?
I know, right?
Oh, I think I did that last video too.
No, I think you went like this to do your pat on your back.
Oh, yeah. See, I don't know why. When we first started dating, I didn't like high fives. Like, he would go like this.
I converted her into a high fiver.
He would put his hand up and I just walk. But now he doesn't like go for the high five, so now I have to force it.
Well, because you don't put your hand up, you just grab my arm.
Well, because you can't. You're not fast enough. Like, if I went like this, you'd be like, huh? And we'd be gone.
Huh? What just happened?
That's my interpretation. Ben?
Huh?
You know that dog on the movie Up that's like, squirrel? That's what I like, Ben. Huh?
It's so true. You're one to talk, though, too.
I know.
Becca, we're just going to start poking each other right now. Becca is the queen at starting a sentence and then interrupting herself into something different.
I'm so hard to edit.
Completely forgetting about what she was talking about and just going off on another tangent.
Hey, that's called multitasking. But when we're editing the YouTube videos, and like we're trying to put together like a sentence that makes sense, we have to edit so much of me. Like, if you see it's cut a lot, it's because I went off on a tangent about something.
I love it, though. I love every second of it. You're
You
so
love me.
short. You're so cute. Dude, I just love you so much. Come here.
Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna go make dinner, and then we're gonna edit this video, and we're gonna do some work, and we're gonna try not to be up till 2 a.m. because the kids have about sleeping
honest,
again.
Probably will.
Yeah, we will for sure. But we get up at like 5, and the kids have not been sleeping well at this park for some reason. I don't know if our schedules have been different because we've been exploring more. But last night, like, there was a kid up every half an hour, and like, how people came into our bed.
Yeah, we woke up this morning and Wesley was in our bed. I don't remember
And
that
he has
happening
never
at
once
all.
climbed in our bed like his whole life. And he's like sleeping on top of me, and I wake up, I'm like, how did you get in here? And I asked Ben, I was like, Ben, when did you come in here? We're both like,
Who knows?
Oh, and Miller's crying.
There's our bell.
He just woke up, so it's time for us to go make some dinner and go help that little boy.
All right, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for checking out our channel. Please do check out our channel if you haven't already.
Yeah, subscribe. We're awesome.